Okay, moving on from there, just finishing off on, I mean, look, you're obviously connected within the whole Saudi thing, etc. What do you know anything more on this situation with Tyson and Usyk about whether that fight's going to take place over there? It's looking less likely just from the comments we're seeing. Possibly now at Wembley. Do you know anything more about that situation?
Yeah. Go get the money in Wembley. Let's see if you can get it.
Okay, do you want to expand on any of that?
When people want to be greedy, that's it. My boss said no.
Okay, well, listen.
When people want to be greedy, that's it. My boss said no. When people want to be greedy, that's it. My boss said no.
What's good, family? It's your man, the YB. Back once again. Big shout out to my doggy on the screen right now. Terrence James Scales are coming through and scaling up the coin. 100% respect, General. So we just heard there from your mans, Derek, Delboy, Cesora. Now, I ain't gonna lie to you, when I first peeped this leak, I wasn't sure what was going on. It didn't make sense. Derek Chisora says, or Shilligan Cassius says, do you have any information on the Fury and Usyk Saudi situation? Derek Chisora replies, yes I do. And good luck getting money from Wembley. Now bear in mind, most of you won't know this, but... Oh, in fact, let's carry on explaining where I'm going with this. So, Chisora gives this attitude as if he's almost... he has this almost combative attitude, as if it has something to do with him. Good luck getting it from Wembley. Why would Chisora care or even know about that? Why wouldn't he? Or potentially, we all know why Team Fury won't get it from Wembley. Because the Saudis are paying through the teeth. We all know that. But why would Chisora be putting it out there in such a combative way? Why would he care? And then he makes the next statement. This is what happens when people are greedy. Now, we all know what that means. And if you don't know what it means, bear in mind, people, Team Usyk signed. They agreed to 50% with the Saudis. It was Team Fury who were the ones stretching it out, talking about splits, and this, that, the other. And that's where Chisora's attitude comes from. It comes from the position of, you're complaining to the Saudis making these demands, being greedy. Meanwhile, you ain't got a prayer of getting even half of that. You haven't got... Mr. Tyson Fury are making demands with the Saudis. You haven't got a prayer of making half of what the Saudis agreed to give you in Wembley. Greedy looking ass dude. That's where Chisora's point of view is coming from. Now, the next bar, he says, and this is the most important bar, and this really connects the whole story, but I couldn't work it out for a while. The next bar, Chisora says, after mentioning, this is what happens when people are greedy. Tyson Fury ain't going to get the money that Saudi were going to pay him at Wembley, but nonetheless, this is what happens when people are greedy. And then he says, when people are greedy, my boss said no. My boss said no. Let me replay it one more time so you mind peep the lyrics that were going on. Right now. Where's this cursor at?
Okay, do you want to expand on any of that?
When people want to be greedy, that's it. My boss said no. People want to be greedy, that's it. My boss said no.
When people want to be greedy, my boss said no. Now again, like I told you earlier, I thought, what's he talking about, my boss? And then it clicked in my mind. The whole reason this interview's taking place, some of you hardcore boxing guys might not know this, but Derek Chisora 2 weeks ago was in Saudi doing what? Derek Chisora is now the official Saudi boxing representative, whatever that means. And he was the guy, Derek Chisora was the guy heading up the Tommy Fury and Jake Paul press conference. The Saudis have now employed, or for the last probably month, the Saudis have officially employed Derek Chisora as their boxing aficionado, their boxing representative. He's already there. That's why this interview's taking place. This interview's taking place on the basis of Jake Paul and Tommy Fury. Chisora is the Saudis representative. He's being paid for that. But like I said, when Chisora first said them words, it completely went over my head. I didn't realise how much of a big oopsie-doopsie this was until it clicked about 5 minutes later. I thought, oh wow, Chisora's absolutely let slip what's going on here. Yeah? And confirmed the Saudis, and it links back to, a second ago I said, why was Chisora so combative when he said, good luck going to Wembley? Why would Chisora care? Well, Chisora would care if he's been having conversations with the people who have hired him, and they're telling him, this greedy guy Tyson Fury, he wants more money. That's the narrative Chisora's been getting, hence his attitude. If Chisora had nothing to do with the Saudis, bear in mind people as well, this Chisora and Fury thing, their relationship goes back 20 years. So Chisora is forgetting about his 20-year relationship with Tyson Fury, and he's backing the Saudis, his bosses. Money talks. Friendship walks. But most importantly, why this whole shtick is relevant is the fact that why would Chisora go out of his way to slag Tyson Fury off for any other reason? It don't make sense. In any other circumstance, Chisora would normally be saying, back in Tyson Fury, yeah, the Saudis need to get their wallet out of their pockets. I'm pretty sure, I'm not sure of the actual example, but I'm sure I've heard something along them lines before. Chisora saying, yeah, fighters need to be paid. Get your wallet out. The Saudis should get their wallet out for Tyson Fury. I'm sure I've heard Chisora, maybe it's talking about himself, but either way, whether it's for himself or whether it's about the people around him, maybe even about an AJ fight, the Chisora said, yeah, the Saudis need to get their wallet out of their pockets. That's all gone. Yeah. Chisora's no longer backing the fighters, backing the fighter, is backing his employer. So his employer has directly told him Tyson Fury is greedy, and we've sacked Tyson Fury off out of Chisora's own mouth. Now, in any other circumstance, this you could say, well, Chisora's just gassing the place up, but we know he's been employed by the Saudis, so it's come from them. He said it himself. Yeah? My boss don't like working with greedy people, and they've effed him off. Good luck getting the money. Good luck getting half of what my bosses were going to give you at Wembley. That's how the whole circle gets made whole. The relevance of this, well, all the cornballs out there, all the Simon Jordans, oh, it's a location issue, and we're just waiting on the Saudis. No one's waiting on the Saudis. No one's ever been waiting on people. For the last 2-3 months, no one has been ever waiting on the Saudis. The Saudis' position hasn't changed for 2 months. That's why Usyk signed a month ago. In fact, no, we found out about Usyk signing a month ago. Most likely he signed 6 weeks, 2 months ago. Usyk's position's been pretty clear. I want 50-50, that's it. Nothing else. I don't care who walks first. I don't care who dances backwards first. Just give me my 50-50 and we can squabble. This here confirms, almost as an official, bear in mind, that's what Chisora's role is as the Saudi Arabian boxing official representative Don, 100%. So more or less, this is their statement. This is the Saudi boxing representative statement. Tyson Fury is greedy, and we've sacked him off because we don't like working with greedy people. And like I said, the fact Chisora, who's been friends with, it shows you how grievous. Chisora will know the details. Chisora's not an unreasonable person. Let's not forget, it was only the other week Chisora's there hand in hand with Tyson Fury. So even you can tell how bad it is, or how bad it's looking from Team Fury's point of view. How greedy they really are. After all, this is Derek Chisora we're talking about, people. Derek Chisora is Mr. Money himself. Now, I'm pretty sure if the Saudis were doing Tyson Fury a bad offer, I bet you any money Chisora would be a lot less aggressive, a lot less assertive. He'd be saying, listen, it's not my place to comment. But the fact that he's saying what he's saying shows how well, greedy, bottom line. How absolutely ridiculous Tyson Fury is being. Because if there was any real money problems, if the Saudis were being cheap, Chisora would be quiet and not saying nothing. But for Mr. Money, Chisora himself to come out here and air out Tyson, I mean, we all knew this anyway, but what this is important for, we all knew Tyson Fury was being greedy and Tyson Fury trying to squeeze blood out of a stone. But this is just to sign it off, absolutely confirmed, of what's happened here. And knowing Chisora's personality, he's the number one guy. As far as it comes to fighters getting the most money possible, Chisora's the number one guy. You'll never hear about Chisora talking, expecting fighters to take less money. However, everyone has their line, and it shows you how grievous the greed of Tyson Fury is right now. And Chisora's own comments of, good luck going to Wembley. Do you know what I mean? That's what I mean. Well, that's what I said when I mentioned a few weeks ago that the Saudis ain't muppets. Yes, they've got big money. Yes, they're prepared to pay over the odds, but they're not going to be treated like mugs. Yeah? And Chisora's statement of, good luck going to Wembley, that communicates the things that have been going on behind closed doors. In as much as you can bet your bottom dollar the Saudis have sat down and said to Chisora, who's this Tyson Fury guy think he is? We're paying him 3 times more than the amount we know they're going to make in the best circumstance in Wembley. Who does this guy think he is? What does this guy think this whole show is? Does this guy think we just got mug written on our head? We're already paying him 3 times more. He wants 4. Or he wants to be special. He wants a 60-40 split. And that's what a lot of people aren't getting. A lot of boxing fans, a lot of Tyson Fury fangirls. You don't understand how much of a duck this is. And how greedy this is. Because, what's that saying? Spite your nose to do something to your face. That's what Tyson Fury is doing now. Tyson Fury is demanding more money from the Saudis, knowing that he can't make half of that in Wembley. What the fuck? How that make sense? Usually, when people try to push negotiations, it's because you've got some leverage. Like, listen, Saudis, if you don't take this fight at this price, I can go elsewhere and get the same or better. This situation's the other way around. Tyson Fury should be bouncing off the walls, saying, thank you, Saudis. Without you, I'd be making half of that in Wembley. Instead, what we heard in a recent week, the Saudi fight's off. And this is why, people, what we heard today absolutely confirms the fight isn't going to happen. Yeah? Because regardless of splits, if Tyson Fury wasn't prepared to fight for 100 million, he ain't going to fight for 50 million in Wembley. It's categorical, people. Team Fury have admitted it. Team Fury have admitted if we go to Wembley, regardless of how many seats we sell, it's going to be less than a Saudi deal. So Tyson Fury would rather, well, assuming he wants to fight, which he doesn't, but if Tyson Fury was genuinely planning on fighting, the current situation is that Tyson Fury is happy to make less money at less money at Wembley, but get a bigger split. Because let me tell you this now. If Tyson Fury gets a 60-40 split in Wembley, it's still less than the 50-50 split in Saudi. That tells you how nonsensical this thing is. If Tyson Fury's team wanted this fight, or if Tyson Fury's team were being smart, they'd say, listen Tyson, we can dig our heels in. The Saudis, that's the problem with these celebrities. They think they're special. Tyson Fury think he's real special. He's real hot. He got it back to front. You are an employee of the Saudis. They employ you. Yeah? That's how it works. You don't run things. Tyson Fury a little bit confused. He think, oh, yeah, I'm going to really spite the Saudis and make less money at Wembley. Do you know what I mean? Who does that? Tyson Fury actually thinks, oh, I'm going to make a stand and I'm going to go, you ain't going to, they don't care about you. You're just another, what's the word? You're just another brand cleansing mechanism. They bring you guys in to make their country look. That's all it is. Whether it's you or Tiger Woods for the golf, I don't care. It's just money. It's money. It's mash to them. But Tyson Fury really think he big dog. Yeah, I'm going to show the Saudis and take my business elsewhere. I don't care. Do you know what I'm saying? Tyson Fury, with all due respect, he's a little dog compared to Tiger Woods and all the other big dogs. Yeah? That's just what it is. But these celebrity guys, they're so gassed up. They're delusional. Someone should have sat Tyson Fury down and said, listen, Tyson, I know you think you're big dog, yeah? But what you're about to do is play yourself out of double the money. And that's what they've done. However, unfortunately, that whole thing I've told you about, Tyson Fury's played himself out of double the money. He hasn't, because he's not taking the fight, people. Oops. Do you understand? Tyson Fury, if Tyson Fury intended on fighting at Wembley, he would be playing himself out of half. Or an extra half. But he's not. He ain't doing the fight, bottom line. He's not doing the fight in Saudi, and on that basis, you can bet if Tyson Fury, wait a minute, if Tyson Fury won't fight for 80 million, he ain't fighting for 40 at Wembley. Do you get that? Not in a month for Sundays. And that's how I knew the minute the Saudi fight, or the minute the Saudis have pulled out, it's not happening. That was the only hope. If Tyson Fury wouldn't accept 50-50 of a bigger pot, he ain't going to accept 60-40 of a half pot. Yeah? For example, let's say the Saudi pot was 200 million. 200 million, 50-50, that's 100 million apiece. The Wembley pot's going to be like 60 million. So 60-40 of 60 million's what, like 37 or something like that? So Tyson Fury's absolutely played himself if he intended on taking the fight. But at this point, I actually think Tyson Fury planned this. I don't think I can't explain it why. The same way I can't explain why he didn't want the AJ fight. The same way I can't explain why he didn't want the Deontay Wilder fight. Is he scared? Is he what? I don't know what it is. I can't. Tyson Fury's mind's weird. What I do know is he loves fighting bums. He loves fighting clearly winnable fights. That's what Tyson Fury loves doing. Tyson Fury loves jumping in the ring with someone he knows he can wash. That's his favourite delicacy. Nothing more he loves doing. Anything else, it takes trying to get Tyson Fury to genuinely defend his belts. It's like trying to squeeze blood out of a stone every time. Every time it takes months. Every time there's problems. And meanwhile, we don't hear these problems with no one else. When AJ and Usyk were negotiating, there weren't no problems. Twice. They had 2 fights. Now all of a sudden, and I ain't gonna lie to you, people convinced me, or people half convinced me. I concluded back in September that, you know what, I'm down the middle. Is it AJ, is it Fury? But the more time that goes on, I said at the time, AJ loves money. AJ ain't got no pride. He don't care about losing. Fury fans were telling me, oh, it's YB, it's AJ who's stopped the fight because he's scared. How can a man who's just lost to middleweight, what difference would it make to him losing to Fury? If anything, it's a better loss. Okay, you've lost to the best guy who beat Wilder anyway. And in all due respect, I think AJ could survive and go points with Fury. So, AJ would have a better loss against Fury than Wilder has 2 times. So don't tell me that Mr. AJ, who's been beat by Usyk twice anyway, is all of a sudden too scared to sign the biggest fight in the world. It's still back to front. No, I'm sorry. I don't believe AJ ducked that fight. I believe it was Tyson Fury. I don't know why he did. All I know is there's a consistent resume. Tyson Fury has a resume. In fact, it goes back to the Vladimir Klitschko rematch. Some of you man have very short memories. Very short memories. Tyson Fury versus Klitschko. Yes, people will have to crank on about, oh, he boxed Klitschko's ears off. But you man forget, Tyson Fury pulled out and the rematch never happened. Vlad was licking his lips for that rematch as well. Tyson Fury went after Boyle and the rest is history. Tyson Fury spun that into a book deal. That's what happened. He turned a massive duck into a book deal. Tyson Fury and Team Fury and all of his shills love to repeat the fact that, oh, he beat the 15-year reigning champion. But listen, normally when you beat a 15-year reigning champion, you beat them on the basis that, yeah, okay, I beat a reigning champion of 10 years, yeah, they get a rematch. That's just how it works, in my opinion. Or bottom line in sport, you don't nick a win over a champion, a long reigning champion, and then just run off into the sunset. That doesn't count for me. Anyone can get lucky once. Do it again. Now, I'm not saying if you're a fly-by-night champion who just won the belt, that's not the same. If you beat if you beat a guy who's been reigning for a while, he deserves a chance. You know what I mean? Anyone can have. The thing with reigning champions are, if you've been defending your belt 12 times, you have the right to have an off night. That's how I feel. If you're a long reigning champion, you should have the right to have an off night, and therefore get a chance at you getting your belts back. Which Vladimir Klitschko absolutely satisfied that criteria. He'd been reigning for so long, got bored, saw this guy, tall guy, lanky guy, no power, and he wasn't really turned on for it. Is it Tyson Fury's fault that Vlad wasn't turned on? No, but still. Why didn't Tyson Fury turn up? That's the question. Oh, I completed all my dreams, I fell off the wagon. What? You had one good win. All due respect. Tyson Fury at that point had one good win. No one even knows who he beat before that. Let's be real here. No one. Name me one name Tyson Fury beat before the bad fight. Ain't no one know. I think Chisora is actually the best name on his resume up until that point. So, you know what I'm saying? So again, Tyson Fury has a recorded history. Vladimir Klitschko rematch. That was a clutch rematch. He ducked. Don't happen. The Wilder 3 fight. Don't happen. And again, that Wilder 3 fight was just like the Vladimir Klitschko rematch. Fury had clearly beaten the reigning champion. And Deontay Wilder had to take him to court over a year period to get that fight. AJ fight didn't happen. Everyone, it's AJ, it's teammate. But then, wait there. AJ had to do the... AJ, and that's the thing. AJ, you have to do this in 2 weeks. But then Chisora got given time and time and time and time. What's that about? Wait a minute. Why does Chisora, who's a nobody, you'd think, wait a minute, the AJ fight is massive, so let me give AJ the most time possible. Oh, no. AJ, I'm not playing no games with you. You got 2 weeks. Chisora gets about 6 to make a bum fight. Someone explain that logic to me. It wasn't AJ saying, no, you got a deadline. No, Fury made a deadline only to give Chisora twice as much time. And then, to add insult to injury, what do we know now? December 2022, Tyson Fury comes out and says, yeah, me and Usyk are going to spend the next 3 months negotiating and the fight isn't even done. Back in September 2022, when you were negotiating with AJ, you told us, AJ, he doesn't need more than a week. If you can't get it done in a week, you don't want it, you're ducking, you're stalling. Big fights don't take long if people want it. Oh, wait a minute. If big fights, all that talk that Team Fury were giving Team AJ, yeah, about how quick big fights can be made, where's that same energy, Simon Jordan? Frank Warren was all in the video on TalkSport giving it this. Oh, if you want it, it takes a week. Yeah, Team AJ got a week. Tyson Fury telling me he ain't playing games. He's got a week. Simon Jordan was there. Yeah, it should take a week. Yeah, give it all that. Where is Simon Jordan now? 3 months later, whole of December, whole of January, whole of February. 3 months later, mister, it don't take long to do big fights. 3 months later, and we ain't even got a location sorted yet. By default, allegedly, it's in Wembley, but that's not confirmed. Next week, they could say, well, we're still talking with it. And I think that's what will happen. If this fight has any chance, you're going to hear, probably, bear in mind, Tommy Fury is fighting in Saudi at the weekend. I think Tyson Fury may be in Saudi at the weekend. And I think the best chance we've got of this fight happening is over the next week. Tyson Fury's in Saudi. He talks to one of them dons there. They put a warm dump on his chest. And it ends up, you know what I mean? One of them ones. And it ends up happening from that point. Tyson Fury realises, wait there a minute. I'm not a big dog. Yeah, I'm not calling no shots. Let me get on my back like AJ did and take this warm dump from the zesty don. And at that point, we'll know, or the fight will have a chance. That's the last chance, in my opinion. Because there's no way Fury ain't doing it for half money, people at Wembley. He's just not. See, that's the crazy thing. People are talking about 60-40. Tyson Fury cares about money. He don't care about split, in that sense. In as much as, if Tyson Fury won't fight for 80 million in Saudi, he ain't fighting for 60% and 40 million in the UK. That's not going to happen. It's Saudi or bust. You can take that to the bank here as well. I guarantee that. I guarantee you this fight happens in Saudi or not at all. If I'm wrong, fair play. But even then, even if the fight happens even if it happens in Wembley, for it to happen in Wembley, Fury's already said, I'm going to need 60%. And that's not happening. So, it's, like I said, it happened in Saudi, and Fury agrees to take half of the pot with Usyk, or it don't. That's what I bet my life on. You can take it to the bank as well. But unfortunately, Tyson Fury's talked so much. It's got to the point now where Fury will literally have to have a dump on his chest. Because you've heard there from the Saudi representative. The Saudi representative just told you they're not impressed. It's not funny. Because think about it. Tyson Fury, Chisora's had a 20-year relationship with Tyson Fury. And he's irritated by Tyson Fury. So, where has Chisora got that energy from towards Tyson Fury? That's come straight from the Saudis. So my point is, it's not going to be what it was, in my opinion, before. The deal Tyson Fury had a month ago ain't going to be the deal that he's going to get if he goes back with his pot in his hands. Now it will require Tyson Fury to grovel. That's what I believe. Because once the Saudis have come out and said, no, we ain't doing it. And that's why you'll find there's rumours been put out. Oh, we can't do the logistics. Yeah, you hear that rumour, you hear that one there. Oh, we can't. Oh, YB, it's the construction. Come on now, people. If you think it's a construction, that's a lie Team Fury put out there. Because guess what? Wait a minute. We just heard from Mr. Saudi representative. Wait a minute. What didn't we hear from Mr. Saudi representative? We didn't hear from Mr. Saudi representative, oh, my boss told me he'd love to have this fight, but the construction times are problematic. You know, you peeped that one. But, innit? We didn't hear that. We didn't hear from Mr. Saudi representative, and I'm sure, listen, if the Saudis were desperate for this fight, and it was construction issues holding it up, you bet your bottom dollar, Mr. Saudi representative would be saying, my boss told me he's desperate for this fight, but we can't get the construction done. He wouldn't be saying, my boss told me this guy greedy and he tired of working with him. Get the guy out of here. So all you talk sport cornballs talking about location, talking about construction, you ain't got a clue what you're talking about. That construction narrative was put out by Team Fury. Why? To make themselves look better. Yeah, it's not going to Saudi. Not because we're greedy and they've sacked us off, but because construction can't be done. It doesn't even make no sense. The Saudis can get things done in 2 weeks. Their man don't mess about. 24-hour shifts, 3 shifts, back to back to back to back. It rolls on and on and on. They can literally put things up in weeks over there. Never mind, how many months would it be? April 29th is whole of April, whole of March. 3 months. If you think Saudi can't put a little thing up, I mean, AJ was fighting in them areas. Don't take more than a couple months. The narrative's whack. And you notice this, from not one Saudi representative have you heard anything about location. I mean, wait a minute, I've just solved this myself, wait a minute. YB, oh, you're lying, YB. Tyson Fury isn't greedy. The Saudis can't get it done in time. If the Saudis can't get it done in time, how is Jake Paul fighting Tommy Fury in Saudi then? Oops. Wait a minute, can the Saudis host big boxing events or not? Because if they can't, how is Tommy and Jake Paul going there? Oops. How was AJ there, 2 months ago? Or 6 months ago, whenever it was in August. You know what I'm saying? Wait a minute. Jake Paul's going there next week. AJ was there 6 months ago. And then before that against Andy Ruiz. But yet, they can't get it done. Come on now, cut the cat, people. You man are slow, too slow. Anyway, Tyson Fury exposed. Officially, this is an official Saudi statement. He's greedy and they've sacked him off. The only way this fight happens now is if Tyson Fury accepts 50% of a tiny pot. Not going to happen. Fight's cancelled, the fight's off. Derek Chisora confirms. Let me know your thoughts. Smash the like button, subscribe, and lick off the bell 100%.